Hello everyone and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I'm Jitch and you're watching NXT.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, weighing 360 pounds, Tensai.
We got a battle of the big boys here on NXT, kicking things off. It's going to be Tensai up against King Kong Bundy. Two giants clashing in the ring here tonight. And of course, our main event tonight, the NXT Championship is on the line after a big win last week over the #1 contender, ranked that is, Justin Gabriel. Dusty Rhodes has been given an opportunity against Big E Langston. This could be a huge career-changing night for Dusty Rhodes if he can defeat the young Big E Langston for the title. It could happen. It really could happen. And do you ever hear a song kick in and you just think to yourself, wow. Now there's the real deal. King Kong Bundy, it is a surprise that this man has not become NXT champion just yet. I know his momentum got a little startled and halted by Andre the Giant, his former partner. But I'll tell you, I'm surprised that King Kong Bundy has not been able to step up from that loss and become NXT champion again. Although I will admit, he hasn't had another opportunity. Perhaps if he can pick up a win here tonight over Tensai, he can be a lot closer to an NXT Championship opportunity. Two very big, bold men right here. So here we go. King Kong Bundy, Tensai, toe-to-toe with each other. I believe this is a first-time face-off here on NXT. And it should be an interesting match for sure, but next week on NXT, the EYS Challenge once again comes around, as of course we are just, well, next week on NXT, we'll be just 4 days away from TLC, and it's always the pre-NXT to a big event that we have a EYS match here on NXT. Next week, we've been told the prime time players will be given a chance to leave NXT. They came up short in reclaiming the tag team titles last week after Darren Young suffered a minor injury. They're not in action here tonight, but we have been told that they will be together next week, and they will compete against a pairing of either 2 Raw or 2 SmackDown superstars. Whichever brand they choose to go for, that's the one that they can challenge. And the interesting thing about this is they don't have to fight an established tag team. Whichever brand they choose to face, they will face just the pairing of whoever are the 2 bottom-ranked guys on either Raw or SmackDown. So, you know, it could be, for example, I believe the bottom-ranked guys on Raw right now are, I believe it's Roddy Piper and Drew McIntyre, I think, are the 2 bottom-ranked guys on Raw. So it'd be those 2, which means that 3MB could lose Drew McIntyre, because it wouldn't be 3MB, it would be Piper and McIntyre. Or if they face off against the SmackDown bottom 2, I can't actually remember who is at the bottom of SmackDown. I'm pretty sure, believe it or not, I know he was once WWE champion, but I'm pretty sure JBL is one of the bottom 2, but I can't remember who the other guy at the very bottom of SmackDown is off the top of my head. I'm trying to think about who's on SmackDown as like a way to like remind myself who it could be. It might be like Rick Rude. But one of those 2 challenges. If JBL is at the bottom though, I will say this. Whether it's Raw or SmackDown, one thing that would remain consistent is that either 3MB would lose Drew McIntyre, or the Coalition would lose JBL. That is, of course, if the primetime players were to win, and if the ranks are not to change by next Wednesday. Obviously, Raw, I think, is pretty much set in stone right now on where that one's ending up. But SmackDown, still open, still up in the air. It could change. Speaking of the EYSs and bringing people here to NXT as well as obviously losing NXT, Rey Mysterio gets another opportunity to try and redeem himself in his losing ways as he faces off against David Otunga up next. Very interested in seeing if Rey Mysterio can finally pick up a win. Still can't believe we're this far into Season 4, and I think Rey's only ever won 1 match. That is very unfortunate. This has been a bad season for Rey Mysterio. I'm telling you now. I hate to admit it. I think the Sin Cara association is cursed. The fact that Rey is wearing Sin Cara's mask design on the back of his mask, I think is actually somehow, through some mysterious magical power, bringing Rey down. Cover attempt and just a 2 count. Obviously, speaking of the tag team here on NXT, I'm very curious to see what the future holds for the Snake Pit. If anyone will be able to step up and dethrone Jake Roberts and Wolf and Gwen. Obviously, it's a little early to be rooting for their downfall and be trying to figure out who's going to be taking them down. But the question remains at any given time as here comes the green mist from Tensai, and he sweeps out the leg of King Kong Bundy. And he doesn't cover him, but then he does. That's classic AI move right there. And King Kong Bundy kicks out. Thrust strike. And only a 2 count once again. Bundy with a huge elbow. And now Tensai. Oh, he's really getting on his nerves with that one. He's got Bundy locked in. King Kong Bundy struggling to hang in there. I tell you, any ordinary guy would have given up, but not Bundy Mania. Bundy working the knee of Tensai with that move. And very quick work break there. I'm very interested in the idea of Big E Langston losing here tonight. Obviously I don't want to see it. You know, I've been enjoying Big E Langston's rise, the prominence here in NXT. But could you imagine Dusty Rhodes upsetting the world? Not literally. Cover attempt and just a 2. Pulling off that huge upset and defeating Big E Langston tonight for the NXT Championship. That would really, I think, shift the entire landscape of this brand. Dusty Rhodes is someone we have not seen too often here on NXT. So in a way, he is a very unsuspecting underdog going into tonight's NXT Championship match, whereas Big E has always been a very big, prominent part of NXT. Roll-up attempt here by Tensai on King Kong Bundy, and it just a 1 count. Okay.
He fails to connect. He's got him up.
A scoop slam to Tensai. Bundy has really managed to shift momentum here. At one point, it looked like it was all Tensai, but Bundy, I don't know why I said it like that, has really shifted this. And it seems like no matter what Tensai does, Bundy keeps finding a way back in it. I mean, admittedly, an eye rake like that should be a disqualification, but referee's discretion is that he doesn't even pay attention. Tensai hook in the arms of King Kong Bundy and a big butterfly suplex. Butterfly. Tensai taking King Kong Bundy to the center of the ring. Here's the cover on King Kong, and it's still going. We're still going strong in this one. Tensai, for the second time in this match, whips out the green mist claw on King Kong Bundy. Will he actually have the brain power to not only take him down with this claw, but pin off of it this time? Yes! Cover on Bundy. Tensai gets the win. An important win here for Tensai. A former European and WWE Tag Team Champion. Not to be taken lightly.
Absolutely amazing. We knew he felt he had to win this one tonight. I mean, there's absolutely no way to underscore how big this victory is.
Perhaps the biggest in his life. I doubt that. Well, Tensai did pick up a big win over King Kong Bundy tonight. I felt like this was actually a pretty good opening match. I felt like these two both really had a good showing, honestly. But up next, we move on, and it is David Otunga who looks to continue to add more losses to the cap of Rey Mysterio.
way to the ring. He is a graduate of Harvard Law School, weighing 229 pounds. David Otunga.
Well, David Otunga, not exactly one of the most successful guys in his own right, not just this season, but overall in general. You know, he's done some pretty good things in the past, don't get me wrong. I'm not a David Otunga hater by any means, but here tonight, he does hold something in common with Rey, I suppose. They have both been associated with Sin Cara in the past. Oh no, Rey, this could be your future. That's mean, I don't mean that. David Otunga, he does have, I think, double digits in wins. He's nowhere near as reputable as a loser as Sin Cara, but Rey Mysterio, obviously, always surprises me how much this guy has dropped recently, but it could turn around tonight. This could be the beginning of something good. Rey Mysterio, who has really not had it great this season, but he continues to remain in high spirits. He continues to remain motivated, focused. You know, Rey has said he would love to set foot in the ring with Big E Langston for the NXT Championship one day, should Big E still be champion by then. But he's a long way from that. I'm going to just say that. I love Rey. I think it would be a great match, but he's got to get some wins here. So here we go. Rey Mysterio starting things off with an immediate kick to the face of David Otunga. And don't forget, up next, the NXT Championship is on the line. Could we see a huge upset tonight? Will Dusty Rhodes be able to win the NXT Championship? Big E Langston, a fighting champion through and through. I believe this is only his second ever NXT Championship defense, and it could be his last. You never know when our reign is going to come to an end. It's part of what makes it so exciting. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara got off to a bit of a rough start here on NXT in their tag team debut on NXT, losing to Brodus Clay and Virgil. We've been told that it was not the last we'll see of them competing in tag team action. Rey and Sin Cara, they want to get their win back. As I mentioned before, I think it's important to focus on just defeating David Otunga tonight and getting that momentum back in your favor if you're Rey Mysterio. Obviously, the same can be said for Sin Cara. I think both of those two could just really use some wins before they focus on anything bigger. I mean, you know, again, just like how Rey says he'd love to get in the ring with Big E Langston for the NXT title, I'd love to see Rey and Sin Cara elevate themselves to a point where they could challenge for the NXT tag team titles. It feels criminal to me that they're not in contention for those titles right now, but you can't look at their record and truthfully say these guys should be competing for those tag titles right now. Sin Cara, I believe, only holds like something like 7 career victories, and that man debuted back in season 2. Sometimes I worry if it's a little too late for Sin Cara, honestly. Let me have a quick look here. Yeah, Sin Cara has 7 wins and 54 losses since he debuted in season 2. Whereas Rey Mysterio, he does hold 30 wins, 53 losses, but he's only had 1 win this season and 18 losses, which is a huge contributor to his overall loss record. And it's a heartbreaking way for Rey Mysterio to be. This guy's a former Intercontinental Champion, US Champion, Cruiserweight Champion. You know, he's been great. Because David Otunga here, 21-56. He himself has won 5 matches this season, lost 13. Whereas for, I didn't mention Sin Cara's record this season, but it's 1-10. Both Rey and Sin Cara have only won 1 match each this season. That's pretty rough. Survive. That's what Rey needs to do here. He needs to survive. Rey with a takedown as the frames drop to a good smooth 13 FPS. And Rey with a big kick to the face of David Otunga as What's he gonna do? Nothing. He's gonna get kneed. DDT by David Otunga. Can I get a smooth frame rate back, please? I really hate when it looks like this. At least season 5 is getting closer to Titus O'Neil. What is he doing out here? I know Titus has had his history with Otunga, obviously with the Nexus. Andre, it looks like Titus is focusing on David Otunga. Why? David Otunga and Titus getting at it. This is Rey's match, Titus. What are you doing? Is he lost? Titus, you already faced the Nexus a bunch. Like, they're not even a team anymore. Titus, what are you doing? Get out of here. Over the over the steps, not over the ropes. Up to a count of 6, and Rey Mysterio is in disbelief. He doesn't want Titus to be the reason that he wins here tonight, but Otunga seems to be dismissing Rey Mysterio in favor of Titus O'Neil, and Rey seems to be dismissing brain cells in place of walking into ropes. Big splash leg drop there by Rey Mysterio as he goes for the cover off of that. I mean, it'd be a pretty underwhelming finish, but I'm starting to wonder, is this the game where they made the 619 like really complicated to do? Is that why Rey loses so much? There's a game where they made it so that you have to actually set the 619 up with one of Rey's moves. He has to be laying in the ropes before you can use it. I remember, like, that game, Rey was always really awkward to play because setting it up is a pain in the ass. I think this is the game where they did that. It would definitely explain why he doesn't ever win and why he, like, never hits the 619. I think it is, based on that move there. Because the AI has no idea how to set that up. It just does not understand. No wonder Rey's been doing so bad this season. Oh, I'd been wondering about that. Because he doesn't have a finisher, basically. Well, that explains a lot. Well, Rey finally picks up a win. It just dawned on me why Rey has been losing so much. And why we've, like, never seen the 619. Oh my god. I'm gonna fix that. I'm interested to see how much it will change for him. I'm gonna fix that. Rey Mysterio with the win here over David Otunga. Big E Langston set to defend the NXT Championship here tonight against a wrestling legend and icon Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. I believe these two have faced off in the past before, but never has the stakes been so high as they are here tonight. Can Big E Langston retain against Dusty Rhodes? This is definitely one of those guys that I know I've been repeating myself a lot when I say this lately, but there is no shame in losing to Dusty Rhodes. He's a very admirable competitor. I'm very interested in seeing how this main event plays out here tonight. I definitely would call Dusty the underdog here tonight. I feel like Big E Langston is so well established, so high up these days in the rankings.
Introducing the challenger from Austin, Texas, weighing 275 pounds, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, definitely got to give the advantage to Biggie Langston here tonight, but that, I think, is what makes Dusty thrive. I think he likes being at a disadvantage. He likes when the odds are stacked against him. I think he could surprise us all tonight. The American Dream, daddy. As he dons the black and gold, the soul and spirit of NXT. Oh, yeah. This ought to be good. Speaking of Rey Mysterio real quick, though, I just wanted to quickly finish up. Yes, this is the game where he has the really bad setup for the 619. Okay, there is going to be the match graphic. Yeah, you have to hit, like, a specific strike that, like, kicks out their legs, and then they have to land in the ropes from it, which they rarely ever do. The collision is really bad, so they rarely ever fall into the ropes properly. And then only when they're leaned in the ropes does he actually do the 619. So Rey won't be doing the 619 anymore this season, guys. Not that he ever did. No, I hear Rey's far more fond of the frog splash this season, turns out. So, isn't that nice? What a stupid idea. Because that's not even Rey's sequence, right? Like, he'd hit the 619, and then he'd do like a... There was two versions that I always remember from Rey with the 619. There was one where he'd do like a 619 into a Frankensteiner? I don't actually know the difference between like those moves. He'd go, you know, he'd like jump over the ropes and he'd hit them with a flippy move and then he'd pin them. And then there was, of course, after Eddie passed, he'd hit the 619, run over to the corner, and then do the frog splash. But for some reason, in this game, they decided that he was going to do the 619 and then just walk over and get the pin. I don't know. I really don't like that. It feels like they put a lot of disrespect on Rey Mysterio. But then they really, well, I remember towards the end of his run. Oh my god. Towards the end of his run in like 2013. When did he leave? He's not in 2K16. I already know that. I can talk about that right now. It's not the next game. 2014? Something like that. They really didn't treat him like anything special. He kind of got shafted pretty. Actually, honestly, you can pinpoint the exact moment that they decided they just didn't like Rey for some reason. It's called the night they gave him the WWE title and then immediately had him lose it to John Cena, like 2 hours later. Fuck that moment, by the way. That has got to be hands down the worst thing John Cena ever did. Good on Rey for going out there and just losing like that, but fucking, like, you know, like being willing to do that, but like, holy shit, that sucks. And that's his only WWE title reign. He's never gonna get one now. It's way too long. What a shame. But yeah, I think from that moment onwards, they really didn't use Rey very... I don't even think, to be fair, I don't even think in the build to that, I don't think he was really being used that strongly. I remember that win being a little out of the blue. It's cool though, it felt really different, and then Cena came out and immediately took it away from him. They couldn't even let him hold it for like a week. Yeah. Gee, I can't really remember anything Rey did in the early 2010s. And to be fair, when they brought him back, they didn't really do much with him either for a very long time. This LWO stuff seems like the first time they've really started to care about him in a long time. Big back body drop. That's not even a back body drop, is it? As Big E into the cover, and my god, he is dominating Dusty Rhodes out there. Yes, he is, JR. And the big ending on Dusty Rhodes. Is that the end of this one already? Yes, it is. Big E Langston sending a very clear message to the American Dream. He ain't losing that title anytime soon. Respect here from Big E. Whoa! Uh-oh. Dusty Rhodes. A little sour off of this loss. That is very strange to see. He's normally in such good spirits. Well, anyway, thanks for watching NXT. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode when the Primetime Players look to potentially leave the brand that they have dominated the tag division of since debuting. See you then.